Good morning, it's Thursday. That can only mean one thing. Wait. No, it's Friday Eve. Tacos is Tuesday, isn't it? Or Tuesday. Welcome back to another American truck video. And today we are taking Red Thunder out for a little jaunt. Under the flimsy excuse of testing an engine I've been working on. Oops, I think I got the cargo there. That is the MX-13, and that's the 430 horsepower version. It's very lightly fettled or tuned because I'm also combining it with the PACCAR TX12 transmission. But I shall say, yeah, Farsel's Cab Cats has been released, so this little guy, he looks like one of my cats from years ago. So we're going to take a little trip. I'll occasionally see this little guy to my right. So without further ado, let's make like a tree and roll on out of here. Here comes the boom. Well, the good news is that the tweaks I've made to the transmission or the shift points of this engine have made very little impact. That is a loud train. And we're hauling just over 41,000 pounds today, so you would expect to feel a difference. I mean, if the shift points are messed up, you're going to know. It's hard to mess up the MX-11 if you stick with the stock, and all I've done is tweak the shift points just a tiny little bit. This engine is prototyping an Epic specification. It will not be going in the W900 because that's not the truck that it was meant for. But mostly it's just an excuse to go for a ride with this cat next to me, so just bear with me. Just as I'm bearing with these lights. Okay, finally. So the gearbox today is the PACCAR TX12. And if you didn't know, that's a badge-engineered Eaton Endurant HD. It's a 12-speed with an overdrive. We're using a 2.93 overdrive today, so what that means is that when I'm cruising at 55, when I get up to 55, the engine's going to be turning over at just over 1,000 revs. And the idea there is it should allow for nice, efficient cruising with enough torque to climb a moderate gradient. This engine produces peak torque of 1550 foot-pounds at just 900 revs, and it holds that to, memory escapes me, I think it's about 1200, it might be a little higher. Either way, 430 horsepower, it's no ball of fire, but as I showed in my last video, depending on the truck, you don't necessarily need all that much power to be able to maintain 75, and yes, John, even in the rain. In fact, less friction means you can go faster. Now, Red Thunder is quite a bit heavier than a T680, especially as a long wheelbase with a sleeper, compared with a short wheelbase and no sleeper. I really shouldn't be surprised, but Red Thunder's cruising as well as Red Thunder cruises, with this engine, tweaked or otherwise. And getting up to speed, really not that much different. It shifts slightly earlier in the upper gears, but only by a few revs. The idea there is it'll save a little bit of fuel, but I'm not really noticing that much of a difference. I imagine with a heavier load on a gradient, I probably will feel the difference, but generally, if that's how you're driving, you typically want to manually shift it lower, or you're going to be using a wider throttle opening, and so the gearbox will keep itself in a lower gear. Well, I gotta say, I guess I'm not feeling very talkative today, and there's not that much to talk about, because the Kenworth is doing just great, the engine's doing just great, the transmission's doing just great. It's hard to get it wrong when you're hunkering along at 65 in top gear. What else do I say? I mean, I haven't even paid that much attention to the kitty cat next to me, which is a shame. But unfortunately, my seating position is such that I only just see the top of his head. So, yeah, there's really not that much to say in terms of how well things are going, because it's essentially an existing engine that's doing just fine. Who knew? Well, now there's something. They've got... Oh, okay, way station time. I was just about to say, they've got the construction work just spot on. This is exactly what construction work or roadworks is like in Texas. Anyway, way stations. So, it's up here on the right, it looks like. Okay. Let's see.
Keep left.
And everyone's slowed down to 55, give or take. A little bit of engine brake there. Oh, well, this truck's doing, but there we go. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, so we'll pull off. See how much this combination weighs. So yeah, construction work, they've got that just about right. And that's potentially useful training for if you ever decide to emigrate to Texas. Let's bring this combination to a slow. And this is exactly what they look like in real life as well, having driven past a few. Alright, so we're going to be about £80,000, maybe 78 to 80 to 81, give or take. So we'll switch to the wheel camera and let's see how much we weigh. Drum roll, everyone. Drum roll. Dum dum dum. Is this guy sweeping the street? Oh, maybe he dropped his lunch. Okay. Let me see. Alright. We're less than £80,000. So, in that context, performance is a little disappointing, but it's not terrible. And I think this actually is a good place to stop today's video. It's not as talkative as I hoped, and there's not been so much to talk about, so that's on me for choosing a kind of boring combination. But I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you have, you know what to do, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.